Alright, yo, what up? This is y'all shook up. Just gonna show you guys a little build. I really enjoy this build. It's super strong, super tanky, hits extremely hard, super fun. Essentially, it's the same sets I always run, but just different skill lines, a little different combo. Before we get into that, though, definitely got to say thank you guys so much. Appreciate all your guys' support. Can't thank you enough. If you guys want to see live gameplay, I do live stream Sundays and Tuesdays. Obviously, it's been up and down with my internet, but you know, some Mondays I've been actually able to stream. We have the holidays coming up, so I do have some more time off. Hopefully I'm able to stream. I don't know if I'll be able to stream next Sunday. If I do, it will be pretty late and probably a short stream, but this build is what I'll be using. I do have some short videos on this build. If you guys did watch me live stream with E-Man, and I believe Epic was, he came towards the end, but we did, me and Epic somehow cross-factioned up some people. So he was red, I was, I'm blue, and we bodied some yellows together. I think it was like a 2v4, so definitely appreciate it. Like I said, this build is it's a tough build. This is pretty good. I really like this build. So let's get into that. We're going to start off with the back bar, and I'm going to try to be as much detail as possible. So for the back bar, you got 37,452 critical spell resistance. You got physical resistance is 36,726. You got critical 3,036. Like I said, you know, this build is fairly, you know, tanky. You got 24.4 critical resistance. You know, even on the back bar, which helps your healing, you have a decent amount of weapon damage, 5,250. You got 1,000 recovery, magic recovery, 1,000 stamina recovery, 28,635. Max stam, max health is 33,000, and max magicka recovery is 20,000. Now, like I said, you know, this build is so tanky, you might even be able to switch it to, you know, use a different Munda Stone, but this is what I like. Front bar, 28,175, max stamina, magicka, 32,572, magicka is 20,000, 1,041, magicka recovery, 1,000 stamina recovery. And even on the front bar, if we got 33,991 spell resistance and 33,265 physical resistance, 2,904 critical resistance. So this is pretty strong. 5,343, and then like I said, you got 24.4, and then 7,889 physical penetration. Now you can switch it because, like I said, you know, I am using something that makes you tankier. The lady, you can switch it to more penetration, but with the sets you're wearing, you really don't need to do that. You end up hitting extremely hard. Bewitched Sugar Skulls is what I'm using, and you don't have to be an ESO Plus member, but yeah, so, and then 24 into health, 40 into stamina, and just trying to make sure I don't forget nothing. I mean, like, this build, it's extremely hard. Like, you get your, better eat. You end up getting your, pretty high weapon damage. Like, because of Battle Orgs, it goes, you know, close to 7,000. Because when you cap something, you go up to like 58, and then with everything, because the sets I'm wearing and everything, and the 10% damage. So obviously we're going to get into the sets. I don't know if it matters if I have a face cam on this. I was just tired. So so obviously Essence Thief, you know, when increase your weapon. So Essence Thief is the reason I'm doing this. I'm running the same sets is because I'm essentially just moving skill lines around. So I'm trying every skill line. Like, if you go to all my videos, I got Leap, I got Arcanist, I got Warden, Arc, DK, I got different kind of styles. So like, I also have a Necro with a Warden. You know, my next one might be Necro Warden. What do you call it? Sword. You get what I'm saying? So there's a lot you can essentially do, and I'm trying to put everything together, but keep it simple. So when you go farm a set, you're not like, damn, I gotta go farm this set now, and I gotta go farm that set, and I'm gonna make sure that you have like, it's almost like using like when you go to for your class selection, you have each AR 15 you want to use, but it's all essentially you're just changing a couple things, so you're not trying to refarm all these sets, trying to do all this. You're utilizing the sets you already have on, and all you have to do is swap the skills. And that's what I'm trying to perfect. Something you, and not just something that you could use in PvP, but you could also use in PvE. It might not be the best in PvE, but you can just basically get through anything you need to in the game. So this is why I'm doing this. So it's important that you guys understand why I keep using the same sets. We're trying to perfect something and then just be able to swap skills out. So you never have to be like, oh, I can't use this because I can't. No, you could use it. Do you get what I'm saying? So, Essence Thief, like I said, weapon enchantment, you got, 348 stacks. What is that? 348 plus that 50. That's 55 plus that. You're over 6,000 plus the other set. You're going to be at like almost 7K weapon damage plus 10% damage. So, you could hit extremely hard with this if you do it just right. So, weapon enchantment this is what I like to use for the damage. Increase your weapon damage spell 348 for 5 seconds. Sharpen, get that little extra boost right there. Adds magicka, adds stamina, 1,000 stamina, 1,096 stamina, 1,096 stamina. Adds 129 weapon and spell damage. And so, for you that are new and for some reason this is the only video you've seen, Essence Thief, it deals damage with a light or heavy attack. It draws an essence from the enemy pool near them for 5 seconds, drawing from the pool, healing you for 4,400 health, restores 4,300 stamina, increases your weapon damage done by 10% for 10 seconds. This pool can pull every 10 seconds. So I said that all messed up. This is a really, really strong set, and you get it in White Gold Tower. So this is a great set. If you haven't got it, farm it. I would focus on getting this set because this set's going to come in clutch. Like I said, I use this on all my builds. I'm just swapping stuff around. And then we got Sword of Wretched Vitality. Another set. Now this one you can craft. It's a great set. I use Defending on the Back Bar. It adds Magicka recovery, stamina recovery, adds, obviously if we go switch to the back bar, it adds a line of weapon damage which helps your healing. But here's why I like this set. While in combat, applying a major buff and debuff where the duration to a target grants you 260 magicka and stamina recovery for 15 seconds. While in combat, apply a minor buff or debuff where the duration to a target grants you 130 magicka and stamina recovery for 15 seconds. Super strong set. Always love this set. Makes it very easy to sustain. So this is just one of those things. Like I said, I love this set. Now you can use Rally and Cry and Essence and Roska, or you can even use Oak Fathers, Rally and Cry and Roska. That's another combo. So I can use those sets for this same build, but I'm just using this so whoever's seeing this can, if they want to switch up, they already have the sets in play. I'm trying to make it easy, So you have one and all, PvE, PvP, BGs, everything. You get what I'm saying? And then this is basically whatever you want. I don't know why I even have this. I just have it. I should have one that gives me more resources back. It says drain stamina and magicka from your target, increasing the cost. This one would actually be better, but it doesn't matter. All right, so the monster set is Balorgs. I've said it 100 times. This is a great, super strong monster set. I like to run a multi-chat on it. I have a medium helmet. I would recommend a heavy and then go medium on the shoulders. But unfortunately, I don't have that. I should farm that, but I'm just too lazy. And then I use impin, so multi-chant impin. And if you guys don't know what Balorg does, it adds 129 weapon and spell damage. When you use an ultimate ability, you gain weapon and spell damage equal to the amount of total ultimate consumed, and physical and spell penetration equal to 23 times the amount of. So this, like I've said, this is absolutely golden. I love this right here. Talk about hard hitting, right? This thing is crazy, right? So that's what I'm saying. You're getting about 7K. And then One Piece Trainee, gotta go heavy, multi-chant, impin, and it adds health, so it's a real clutch. It's, for me, it's one of the stronger One Piece that you can use. Shoulders, I'm going heavy, would go medium and switch like Balorg's medium helmet to heavies, but I don't have that. So we use a multi-chant, impin, and you know what Balorg's does. And then I go light on the waist, Wretched Vitality, impin, but this one is stamina. Then I go multi-chant. This would probably be, you'd probably benefit more to go multi-chant, but I just wanted that little extra stamina, so you can go multi-chant there if you really want to. Multi-chant, heavy, hands, impin, and then heavy legs, multi-chant, impin, feet, multi-chant, impin, medium. And like I said, it's super clutch. And then we go for the the necklace is essence. It gives you that multi-chant effect with a 278 weapon damage and spell damage and 16 recovery. Increased, and then also infused, so it increases it. This is pretty strong. And then Mark of Majesty, super strong. Love this mythic. Now you could go monomyth, but it really doesn't matter. If you run it, I run infused multi-chant to get that weapon damage, like I was saying. This thing right here it's super strong, man. I mean, you could use Death Dealer's feet, but I would just stick to this. This thing is absolutely golden. One of my favorite mythics in the game. Saint Seducer's pretty good too. I don't know if I have it. I know I have it, but I don't think I have it on my thing. And then I use protective. One Piece protective, just because it gives you that little extra tankiness. I really wish I had 40k resistance with the way everybody's hitting in this game. Try to be tanky as shit. But if, like I said, you could actually switch this out to almost anything. Like, if you really, really wanted to, you don't have to use protective because you see your damage, right? So if you go to the ring, you have healthy, you have arcane, you could use swift. I don't have this. I think this one's good. You can go bloodthirsty, or you can go infused to get more weapon damage. I personally like to use. I'm more of a because you already hit so hard with this. Like, that extra tankiness really comes in clutch. You know what I mean? So, but like I said, you can kind of play with it, figure it out. Oops, where was I? And so yeah, that's for the sets. For the skill lines, I am using. Okay, for the skill lines, I'm using Animal Companion, Adric Spear, and Storm Calling. These combos right here are really, really nasty. These probably best in the game. I mean, now I know that Animal Companion. I know Storm Calling, Adric Spear, and Nightblade skill line's probably the best, but this is still up there, if not the second best. Like this is a great. You see this a lot. You see it all the time. There's other combos you can mix up. You don't have to have Animal Companion. You don't have to have Adric Spear. You don't have to have Storm Calling. I can make a Necro Arcanist, and which one that DK. You could throw those three together. There really is a way to do that. It's actually, I'm just a Warden main, so I've always been a Warden main. So Warden is, What I'm doing is I'm taking Warden and I'm using every single skill line to mix it with Warden, you know, to show it's possible to basically do any of this. You get what I'm saying? So Warden is super, super strong. It's just my favorite thing. So I use Warden, the skill line. The reason I like Warden is gives you anytime you use an animal companion skill ends, you get healed. Casting animal companion ability in combat generates ultimate, and then increase your magicka and stamina recovery, and then increase your critical damage 5% for each animal companion ability slotted. So super strong. Ajax Spear, another strong skill line. Increases your critical damage by 12%. Increases your damage done to blocking players by 12%. That's insane. Grants Major Berserk, Minor Berserk for 6 seconds, increasing your damage done and reduce the damage taken by 5%. This is a strong skill line. When you deal damage, you generate a stack of Burning Light for 3 seconds. After reaching a 4 stack, you deal 2,605 magicka damage to your opponent. This effect can stack once every half second, scales off the higher of your weapon and spell damage. So you could actually use this ability right here, Crescent Sweep, which I do. This thing is, and it's super cheap. So it's a pretty strong little thing here. Increase your weapon and damage, spell damage, and armor by 6%. So skill line is insanely strong. And then, you know, sword skill line, this one is super strong too. Increase your health, magicka, stamina recovery by 141. Increase your physical and shock damage by 5%. You hit even harder. Increase your damage done against enemies by 1% for every 10% current health they have. Super strong. And then this, you know, on my back bar, you get a little bit more weapon damage, which once I get this, then I, you know, can heal a little bit more. So this is really strong skill lines. Right, I'm an orc. You know, it's you know, increase your, so you get the craftsman's, this basically pointless for PvP. Increase your magicka, stamina, increase your night magicka, increase your stamina by 1,000, increase your health, max health by 1,000. When you deal damage, you heal for 2,168 health. This could occur every 4 seconds. Super strong. And then increase your weapon and spell damage by 258. Reduce the cost of sprint 12%. Increasing the movement speed bonus of sprint by 10%. So it's super clutch to be an orc. Like, I really like orky porky. Now for the skills, this is where it comes. This is where you really want to do it. So hurl your spear. Whoa, calm down now. At an enemy with, now I'm telling you, like, just 12,825. This goes up to like 17, 18, like almost 18K. So the Dizzy Swings hit pretty hard, or the Wrecking Blows. But so does this, 6,477. And it's not just that. If you stun them, and this ability ignores resistance and cannot be blocked. So you hit them with this. You hit them with this, and a Dawnbreaker with beetles going off at the same time. It's pretty nasty. So essentially, I'll show you a little demonstration, but you smack them with this, throw this at them, so they get stunned. First, you hit them with this so you can get that 10%. Then they get hit by this. While this is going off, they're getting hit by this. It's pretty crazy. If the timing is right, you know what I'm talking about, you'll mess them up. So Javelin, and then Healing Contingency, super strong. This is a Warden main. You have to have the Master Script. I'm using Charm. I know it's like, why are you using Charm? You could just put a heal because you don't have to charm people, but sometimes I like to use Charm because you get resources back. If no enemies are charmed, you restore 1,435 magic and stamina. So I just like the resource pool. But essentially, when I hit this, I'm healing. I'm using the charm. If they get charmed, great. Then you could just spam this and still hit them with this. So you got two kind of things going on, right? And then you also get your Major Prophecy with this for 12 seconds. So super strong. Like I said, this skill right here, clutch. Wrecking Blow, super fun. Just spam away, try to kill them. One of my favorite animations in the game, Uppercut, Wrecking Blow. Executioner, super strong. Another, great execute. Once they're 50% or less than 50%, you could really, really, hit people pretty hard with this. And then Deep Fissure, great skill. Like I said, hits extremely hard. I mean, 15,220, and gives you minor and major breach for 10 seconds. Super, super strong. And then Dawnbreaker, clutch. This thing slaps people, right? You're going to get like almost 30k Dawnbreakers. This thing is absolutely amazing. And for the back bar, Vigor, strong heal, also gives you gains minor resolved, increasing your physical and spell resistance by 2974 for 20 seconds. Healing Soul, super love this heal. It's great. Allows me to do a lot. Powerful heal. You're healing for 11,945, then healing over time for 10 seconds, and then grants you major vitality for 10 seconds, increasing your healing received and damage dealt, shrink by 12%. Clutch. And then Betty, my favorite skill in the game because I have some sort of ADHD, so I just like to spam the hell out of this. You're getting Magicka, you're healing, you're getting major brutality for 20 seconds, and then each 5 seconds the net removes one effect from you. If none are no negative effects, you remove. Instead, you increase your damage done by 5% for 5 seconds. I mean, that's crazy. You're stacking Essence Thief. You're stacking all these. You're hitting extremely, extremely hard. I mean, so there's like no negative effect, right? Getting cleared for me. So it's like you're essentially plus Essence Thief. It's pretty crazy. And then this is to this skill is super strong too. It's Hurricane. You're doing physical damage. So basically, manifest yourself into pure air, buffing nearby enemies when dealing almost 2,000 physical damage every 2 seconds for 20 seconds. The wind grows in damage size, increasing up to 120% more damage. So that little damage while you're fighting people is nice. While this form, you gain major resolve, minor expedition, increasing your physical and spell resistance by 594 and your movement speed by 15%. Absolutely golden. Beautiful. Love this skill. And then Ball of Lightning. I always ran Bird of Prey, but we're just doing a little something different. So you could run Bird of Prey and stack this with Hurricane, but Ball of Lightning's pretty good, right? It basically transforms you into a pure energy. Flash forward after reaching your location. You become immune to snares and mobilizing effects for 2 seconds. Ball Lightning is summons an endpoint which intercepts up to one projectile attack made against you every 1 second for 2.7 seconds. Casting again with 4 seconds costs 33% Magicka, so you got to be a little careful with this. Don't spam, but it's a great skill. Love this skill. And then Spell Wall. I just don't want to die. It ain't happening. GG's bucko. This is a great skill too, so definitely got to love that. So yeah, let me go to the champion points because we don't want to forget that. Last time we did. All right. Master's Arm, Deadly Aim, Ironclad, Resilience. These, I think, are the best in the game. This is what I would use. You could do something else, but I personally like these. And then for the red CP, I'm using Not Celerity, Survival Instincts, Pain's Refuge, Sustained by Suffering, and Fortified. Super strong. This is how you get that tankiness. You could use Relentless, but I think like these are just better in general. And yeah, so the green CP, I don't know if you guys really care, but essentially it's Master, Gather, War Mount. I didn't even know Gift Rider and Steve's Blessing. There we go. Didn't know that was what I was running. GG. So let's do a little demonstration real quick. This video is extremely long, but that's okay because we're trying to go into details. So the way essentially you would want to do this, right? So so what you're playing off of, right, is you got one beetle, right? So what I like to do is before you start the fight, you're gonna use this, right? So if they're getting charmed, you still got 5 seconds, right? Now you got 2, 1, and then that's kind of how you want to work it, right? So you essentially want to, because what you're gonna do is, I always like to come up to a fight where I'm using, so I always start this, right? And then, okay, I'm running up on the guy, so now we're fighting. So like, let's say I see him in the distance, right? You're like, okay, you're gonna hit this, and then now you got that one, you know, and then you got a couple more seconds. So you're trying to time. Now, obviously, you want to make sure, let's build our Dawnbreaker first. Okay, so let's say, you know, you see some people here. You're like, okay, you hit your beetles. You got one beetle about to go off, right? You got another one in 2 seconds. So you want to time that, and then see how that, oh, that was a good shot right there. That will really put some damage down to people, right? So, you know, it's essentially, let's see if I could, okay. So you got that, right? And then that. This right here, if you could time, see, like 2, 1. If you could time even just the first, and then you see how the second one, wait for it. Those two together really hit hard, right? You know, you want to make sure you got your crit up. You know, let's get our Dawnbreaker. Let's try to show you one more time. I do have a short video where it actually landed like I want, and I destroyed that guy. So you got, okay, so you got your, get your essence. So you want to make sure, and then pretty soon, oop, okay, hold on, let's get everything. Let's make sure we got everything. All right, so the first beetle's gonna go off, right? Now you're waiting for that second beetles. 2, 1. So I was a little delayed. You see how the beetles went off? Now, if it lands and you follow with a Dawnbreaker, that's still pretty good. But essentially, you want them to land at the same time. You know, because, you know, these skills hit extremely hard, right? I mean, you're talking, you know, they're gonna hit hard. And, you know, that 10%, it really does come into clutch. I mean, it really does. So, if we could kind of hopefully land it. But that first one I landed to show you guys, that was clutch. Because, you know, with this, you know, you go. And so you got that second one coming up soon. Okay. Ooh. So you see, once you get that timing down with Dawnbreaker and that Beetles, it's like, you know, that's all that is. Let's just see if we can get this real quick. See if we can get this real fast. So essentially, I'm going to try to time it. But you guys, I'm just trying to show you, you know, kind of get the idea of what I'm doing here. So you got one went off. 3, 2, 1. Ooh, I was a little early. But you get what I'm saying. If you could land Dawnbreaker Beetles right after hitting them with a spear, you're hitting stupid hard. Right? I mean, it's just so ridiculous how hard this can actually hit. That combo is deadly. So video went on for a very long time, so I appreciate you guys staying tuned. And once again, if you guys enjoy the video and you want to see live gameplay, just come check me out on Sundays and Tuesdays. I do have a Twitch. If you guys like Twitch, it's in my about section. So once again, appreciate all your guys' support. Take it easy. Out.